Good afternoon. Welcome to Ask Around Yorktown. Today we're so excited because we're going to talk about one of my favorite days, the Community Day that takes place in Yorktown. And one of the reasons it's extra special to the Alliance for Safe Kids is the founder of Community Day is also the founder for the Alliance for Safe Kids, and that's Joan Valenstein. And Joan, we'll talk a little bit more about her as we go through the show, but we just wanted to make sure that we recognize instrumental community members. And speaking of those, I have two that are here today. First, I'd like to welcome Lisa Fine and also Al Avidable. And a little background, Lisa, and she'll certainly talk about having the baton passed to her from Joan. But Lisa recognizes community as an essential to any small business. As a small business owner herself, she gets to watch firsthand how powerful the community is and its members. And I think I love that she actually uses her skills and her business to enhance our community on a personal level. And I think I know that you've said that for over 10 years you've been working through the events. Correct. And I'm so excited that you're here, not just with Yorktown. You can talk about the Community Day and all of the events that take place and the groups that we work with on Community Day. And then I'd also like to introduce Al Avidable. And it's hard to even come up with the right definition except for a quintessential community member.
A lot of cuss words you could use.
Never. But I actually place you on that same level with Joan, that I know coming into a community, it seemed like every organization we started working with and talking to, that you were instrumental in making sure that organization was formed. And so I'm thrilled that both of you are here today.
Thank you.
And first I'd like to talk a little bit about Yorktown and just about our Community Day in Yorktown. And just, Lisa, will you just tell us a little bit about what Community Day is?
Gladly. Well, civic groups and school groups and businesses and organizations from all over town, whether it's Yorktown, Mohegan Lake, Shrub Oak, that encompasses our town, they come together and everybody meets each other and they talk about their business, they talk about the service they provide, they talk about the Girl Scouts, for instance, may talk about, a community project they're doing. And this is really the time where everybody can come and learn about what everybody else is doing in the community. And it's a very special day. And I'm very proud that I'm involved with it. But just to make sure that everybody knows that it's Yorktown Parks and Recreation, along with the Yorktown School District. They are the ones who host the event. And the event is Saturday, May 14th from 12 to 5. It's actually on the grounds of the Mildred Strange Middle School. And hopefully it's outside and we have a gorgeous day. But you know what, even if it's not and it's a little rainy, we all move inside, and we've done that a number of times, right?
Yeah.
And it's still a great day. And we just rearrange everybody, we put them in the school, we do whatever we need to do. And there have been rainy days, we've actually had over 2,000 people. So the event is free, it's a wonderful day. For businesses or organizations, we ask for a $25 fee to come in and to be a participant. And last year we had over 70 groups participate, and like I said, 1,500, 2,000 people came out. And it's a wonderful thing. And what is really wonderful, and I have my friend,
Yes.
but what's really wonderful is that the proceeds of the event, after expenses, they benefit Ask and they benefit Dare. And through through Community Day,
Your friend doesn't talk much, does he?
No, he doesn't. Because do you know about this? McGruff, the crime dog, and he wants to take a bite out of crime. He's going to take a bite out of crime. And, through the good work of the Yorktown DARE program and the PBA and all the other organizations and all their public service ads, they say that more than 93% of children recognize McGruff, as he provides safety tips and he provides and informs information about how to identify suspicious behavior and how to protect yourself, in case there is a problem. So, it's a good thing. Correct?
And it's a nice, fun way for children and families to get to ask those questions.
Absolutely.
And everyone loves McGruff. We know that.
We love McGruff.
We do.
So I think McGruff's actually going to go because his police car, or it's a police car, I think. It's not right? His police car is waiting for him. And he's going to go out and take a bite out of crime. Goodbye.
Thanks, McGruff.
Thanks,
Good
McGruff.
job, McGruff.
Okay.
So little McGruff will sit here, I guess, and wait on the chair.
Okay.
So as you see, we have a lot of fun at Community Day. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And also, we were talking about how important McGruff is and all the different organizations that are there. And why is Community Day important to Yorktown?
Do you want to answer that first?
Nice.
You want me to? I can.
No.
Okay.
I think it's important because it gives the residents a chance to see all the different organizations that are in town, find out about what they do. A lot of the town departments will come and show what they have, their equipment. So if you want to see where some of your tax money has gone, you can see the fire trucks, you can see the ambulance corps, you can see a lot of the different equipment used around town for emergency response. The police are there. Usually they have a couple of different exhibits there. They'll put glasses on you and let you feel like you're drunk and see what it's like to walk and do things when you've been under the influence of alcohol. It's a very interesting day. It's a fun day for people in the community. It's a fun day for us because we get to promote our organizations. The Leo Club usually for the last couple of years has had a dunking booth. Once in a while we talk a prominent town citizen to sit in the dunking booth. Last year we had the infamous Ed Safone, and he was very good. He was a good sport.
You've also
We've
had the town supervisor.
Had the town supervisor.
And other
Yep.
people.
So it's
Right.
it's just a fun day.
We have to get McGruff one day to sit in the dunking.
That would be an outstanding thing.
That
yeah.
might be. That
just
might
to,
be.
just to watch the look on his face.
Right.
Okay, so just some other things about Community Day?
Yeah, I guess on another aspect of Community Day is that, we're all members of the community.
Excuse me a minute. Excuse me.
We
I
all
did this
try
without
to-
papers. What are you using these papers
Oh my
for?
goodness. Oh my goodness. And we all try to stay informed.
I love it when you blush.
Oh.
This is part of the fun of
is
the
what
community day.
Community Day
This is
is
what community is all about, isn't it?
It's got to be spontaneous.
Yes, it is, and we're trying here, okay? So, you know what, whether I am sitting in a TV studio in Yorktown next to Al, or whether I'm in the bagel shop with you having a cup of coffee,
Right.
or,
Realize she's going to get even at some point today.
whether I'm eating dinner at the pizza shop, or wherever I am, we are all members of the community, and I think that's really the bottom part here, is that we're all members of the community. The whole concept of neighborhood is reinforced every day wherever we go. And sometimes we don't think about this because, we're dropping the kids off at school and we're just here at school for 5 minutes, or we're meeting the principal for a little bit. We're stopping by and we're picking up our child off the field, and again, we're seeing some of the neighbors. But, coming to Community Day is the chance where everybody can come, we can all meet each other, and it really is our time to learn about everything that's going on in our town. And this is, our town, Yorktown, is where we spend our time. This is where we work. This is where we play. This is where, we're helping others, and we're trying to get the kids to follow our good lead. And, all three of us do so much in the town, and we hope that our kids and the other kids, at least see what we're doing, and hopefully that they'll follow our good lead. And, you have people, you had mentioned Joan before,
Right.
and, we're following her lead in a way, and you want your daughter and our
Yes.
children to do that as well. So this kind of brings you all back into that Community Day and where everybody should be proud of where they live,
Right.
and we should all see each other, we should meet each other. And I mean, there are organizations in our town, for instance, Guiding Eyes is one. What a wonderful organization. I mean, you know that very
Yep.
well. And there are people in our town who don't realize that this national organization is here in Yorktown.
And there's folks that come from all over the world to come here to get a guide dog and to learn how to use a guide dog.
Right.
I mean, they are a premier a worldwide organization.
Absolutely.
And that's the fun of Community Day. And the one thing I remember Joan always talking about is what's so important in a community is that you feel safe and cared for.
Right.
And I just think that day is absolutely a day that you come out with your family, and every single table you visit and each activity.
Right.
It's one of those events that make you feel like there's people out there that care about you.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I love that's the feeling the entire day.
Right, and I think that, we have so many activities at Community Day.
Right.
There's so many family-oriented things, whether it's entertainment or the music. We have the Masons come and they do child ID services, which is a wonderful community service. The emergency vehicles, the police, the ambulance, the police cars. I mean, how many little boys and girls love to go and climb on the fire truck, and then watch the big ladder go up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
They don't let me get on it. I think that'd be more fun than anything else.
And this would be the time when I would be saying something, but I'm not going to. Okay. And
it's not written down.
No, it's not written down. But it's also the time where businesses can showcase, their services and create awareness for each other and for themselves, and and generate interest for not only for their company,
Right.
but more important on the one-to-one level, and meet a new patient or meet a new client, or have someone realize that, wow, I didn't even know you were here, and what a nice thing.
And we've spoken at many events about just that we don't always know our neighbors and our businesses the way that we remember as a child.
Right.
And that we have to, it's so nice to take advantage of these type of situations where you really get to talk to the organizations. It was so interesting because we just spoke about Guiding Eyes. I remember, walking by and talking to the Lions and the Elks and the Rotary, and realizing that these civic groups are organized right here in Yorktown, and there's so many things that they reach out to into the community. And one of the interesting things is we are certainly trying to encourage our youth to get involved in community service. And it was so helpful this past Community Day, and I foresee May 15th as 14th as being, I remember
one day late.
Caroline's birthday last year. So it was, but May 14th this year, as being one of those days where it's students that are really interested and families that are interested in getting involved, instead of just wondering what you could do, you can actually visit these tables and talk to members of those organizations and talk to them about things that possibly your family might be interested in doing, and get some real personal information so that you feel comfortable about your student coming home and saying, oh, I think I'd like to volunteer at the Guiding Eyes, or I'd like to volunteer at the Youth Ambulance Corps. Nice.
Or go to Hilltop Hanover Farm and see what's up there, or learn about the Grange Fair and learn about the 4-H.
Well, Yorktown has become a big city, but it still has a small town atmosphere. I mean, and you can see that by the groups that you're going to meet at Community Day. I mean, its roots are in a small town, a small farm community, and we've grown into a larger metropolis. But the feel and the organization still keep it that small town community. So that pretty much comes across though at Community Day, and it's a good thing.
Right, I think so too.
I think so too. Again, it's one of those events that you bring your whole family, no matter what age. And Lisa, can you discuss some of the activities that would be happening that perhaps would be interesting for younger children and then older students?
I know. Well, let's start with the music.
Okay.
The entertainment is being provided this year by the Yorktown Teen Center. They're actually doing, it's called the Next Gen Arts Festival. And these are going to be, it's spearheaded by the Teen Center, but they're having a month-long festival. So all of the musicians and some of the poets, they're actually going to be performing at Yorktown Community Day, which is perfect. And these are our youth.
Yep.
The organization that's assisting with that is the Veach Fund, and the Jeffrey,
Yes.
and so Jeff is going, that's Justin's
dad, right?
and they're going to be providing music the entire day, and we're going to be seeing kids that we know performing, and that brings it right back to community, because now their friends are coming to see
Right.
them, their parents are coming, their grandparents are coming, and while they're there, they're also going to then be able to go over to the Lions and buy a hamburger, maybe
Yep.
get a little dunk, go over to Ask, and if they
Right.
have
Popcorn,
And
hot dogs.
popcorn and hot dogs.
You have to do a commercial.
That's right. And we have Italian ice that's coming in through Sultana
Oh.
Ridge Pool. But, then they can go over, and Ask is going to be doing hula hoop and jump rope contests. So for kids of all ages, there is something to do. There's going to be sidewalk chalk drawing that you had mentioned before, the obstacle course. You sit down and imagine, you sit down in a golf cart, put these glasses on, and then you drive through an obstacle course.
Right.
Hope you can do it.
And I
well.
thought it was so interesting last year because in addition to doing the obstacle course, to doing it unimpaired, then we had them try on the glasses. And then we actually ran the same course while they were texting and driving. And the amount of cones that were run over during texting and driving would absolutely make you cringe. But it was probably double with even the glasses. And we realized that it's a fun way to demonstrate to our youth and to their parents how dangerous, and and again, it's not, I see many adults doing the exact same thing, that we just don't always realize until sometimes you've either seen it through a game or watched others possibly do something. And I love, there's so many things that you do learn at Community Day. I remember going home with bags of information, and every table you would go to, you found information that you didn't realize that was available right here in Yorktown.
Right. Also this year is going to be the Yorktown Green Energy Fair, and that is being put together by Patty Peckham and her group of the Yorktown Energy Advisory Committee, and they are having presentations and exhibitors who are going to be discussing environmental issues and sustainable living resources that are here in our area. So you're going to have people like Con Ed or Green Mountain Energy. I think that they have a couple of well-known guest speakers who are coming.
How much do you think a Community Day has expanded over the years when we first started doing it?
Well, I remember when we first started. I've been doing this probably about 12, 13 years, and that was in Downing Park. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And when it rained in Downing, we all had to go over to the middle school.
It was a really great affair if it didn't rain.
It was great.
And it always rained.
I know. So then we decided, let's just move it all to the middle school. Yeah. And now get the schools involved, which was key. And so where those original first couple of years, you were looking at, maybe 20 vendors, exhibitors. We're now at over 70. And I think that's tremendous.
But I think that the key, and I think you had a good idea in doing it, was to, it used to be just a small group of community organizations. Now you've expanded it to businesses and professional folks in town that want to come and display what they have. And the Guiding Eyes, I think you brought them in a more active role.
Right.
So, and the Spark people. So there's a lot of great organizations now that have been formed since and that are working with us. So it really has expanded into a nice event for the community.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We have a hair salon that's coming this year, and they are going to be doing
Dessert.
little princess parties. And so every half an hour, they're going to be doing, I guess whatever they're going to do,
Right.
the hair and the makeup for the kids,
It's
and they're going to
sample.
have, little crafts, but they're going to have a princess party every half an hour.
See, and
I think that's
remember
terrific.
That it is. It's wonderful, and it's an awareness for everyone because
Yeah.
the community
Correct.
gets to see
Right.
something that's available to them.
Right. I mean,
And,
we've had the tooth fairy come from.
Really? She's still around?
Yeah, she's still
Oh,
around.
good.
So she'll be taking your teeth soon. And
Excuse me. Excuse me. It's probably not good for the microphone.
and
And I remember sometimes we had teachers from the schools that had certain, they either made jewelry or different crafts, and the children would get so excited because they
Because
get
they're
to
seeing
see,
their teacher
and
in a
these are
different
teachers
way.
that live in our community. They're community members. They do other things,
Right.
and it's wonderful for the families to get to
right.
to
You're
to
actually
see.
talking about Mrs. Swenson,
Yes.
and Mr. Grote does his video boot camp.
I'll tell you, we have in
Amazing.
Yorktown and in Lakeland, we have two outstanding principals, and Mr. DeGennaro and Ms. Champ. And it would be an outstanding thing on their part if they would sit in the dunking booth.
There you go.
Oh well, this is the call to action.
And I'm probably not going to be.
This is
I'm
their
probably not going to be allowed to be the high
Amazing
school after this
principals.
show.
We could go. We could go.
Oh,
way
we
beyond
could go way
two
beyond it. We
candidates.
sure
Yeah.
can. So that's a good idea.
Let's see if I can get into the high school after this show.
I guess.
And so it's a day that you come and you're completely entertained with fabulous music and food and friends and neighbors. And I've also noticed besides the children just dancing, they really do. They see their friends, they meet new friends. And although we have sometimes like the contests, everything's done in such a feeling of like playing out in the yard, playing in the
Right. Oh,
that
the
you're-
bounce
Yes.
houses.
The fun
They love
houses,
those.
and the pitching. Sometimes
Yep. They have the pitching against the big
they
radar
get to
machine.
see how fast they can.
But I'll tell you,
pitch.
it's probably one of the few events in Yorktown that rain or shine, it's going to go off
That's
and it's
right.
going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, rain is not going to hinder it at all. It's just going to
No.
make it a different little setup, but
Becomes
it's
a
going to go
little
on.
tighter, right? And you move in. I remember down in the gym when they did all the jumping castles and
Yep.
put it in the
And
middle
we'll be
school
doing
gym.
that again.
You use the cafeteria and have your music.
Yep.
It's fun. It doesn't. And I think they're actually saying. Well, we won't really know.
We don't know. It's going to be a
not-
beautiful
it's
day.
not gonna snow.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
It's not-
It is, and we've done it when it's cold, and it's still
Right.
fun. It just, it's just the warmth that comes within just walking around and seeing everyone there that cares. It's a day that you absolutely don't want to miss.
Right. And it's a day that we all should be proud of. And to be proud of where you live.
Show off your town. Yep.
Right, and exactly. And you're showing off your school, you're showing off your business or your organization, and it's the day to be proud. So you walk around
Right.
and you're proud.
And there really are not there. I can't think of other days that they really get to interact with the community and talk about each event. We were talking about earlier, Al, with the Leos and the different opportunities, and how they get involved in the community. And because sometimes you get to meet the groups that possibly they help. If you talk to Guiding Eyes and the different organizations, sometimes it's nice to really talk to the community service groups and find out, what are the ways that
There's
you
nothing.
could
There's
be
nothing
more
like
involved.
talking, especially with a youth group. There's nothing like when you want to find out about what they do, than to talk with the people that have been in it and that haven't. I mean, most of the kids, the young adults, they're not kids. They're pretty sophisticated young adults. They plan their different events. They pull it off, and they usually donate their time and the money that they make to organizations in town. So every organization in town knows them, and they have fun doing it. I mean, the dunking booth is only one thing. I mean, this Saturday at the police department, we'll turn the police department parking lot into a drive-through, and we'll sell hot dogs, and all the money will go to DARE, and we call it Dogs for DARE, which was a little curious because last year we had that name. We thought it was pretty evident. We're selling hot dogs for dare, and people are coming by
With
looking
their
for the
dogs.
puppies, right?
Aw.
But I mean,
And
this
I
is
like how you let your dogs for dare piggybacked on the prescription, the returning all of your.
so. I mean, those. I mean, and this coming month is a busy month because then the following week is Community Day. The week after that, they do their concert for cancer at the high school,
Right.
and all the money goes to Support Connection. So it's an ongoing thing. Then they have their Relay for Life team. They're a good group that does at least 2 service projects a month, and they.
And this is one of the first times I've ever heard you actually get to sing about what they do.
Oh, they do.
Because
Wow.
and that's just it. That's why it's important, I think, to have not just the Community Day, but to talk about it a little bit, so that the community realizes when they attend, to walk around and talk to the different the youth and the adults that are at the tables. It's always interesting to hear what's going on at Lakeside Ceola, where they do the different beach parties, and there's just so many. I hear parents from time to time saying, "Oh, I just don't know what I'm going to do over the summer," and it's nice to really go and hear about what are the activities for the children, what are the different camp opportunities. There's so many things in Yorktown that it's and the farms, when we were talking about the Hanover and
Hilltop
Muscoot,
Hanover,
and
yeah.
there's amazing opportunities, and sometimes that's where you're going to pick up that one pamphlet that's going to put you in the car to go visit, and it's going to end up being that childhood memory that years later that's what your family sits around and talks about. I just think Community Day it has such a significance to everyone that lives here. There's no one who's not welcome or that doesn't belong, and it's a great feeling to walk around and realize that everybody cares about you.
Right.
And that,
I'll tell you, one of the things that always impressed me about the town, because the Lions give away a bond for each young man or young lady that makes either Eagle Scout or the Gold Award, and we have I don't know how many we have now as far as Boy Scout and Girl Scout troops. But when we first started it, we figured, the Gold Award and the Eagle Scout Award is something that's very special, and not everybody gets it. So we were going to probably give away 1 or 2 bonds every couple of years. Well, I think we've averaged in the last 10 years about 10 to 15 bonds a year to 10 or 15 people who have either made the Gold Award or Eagle Scout. So the Boy Scout and Girl Scout contingent in this town is unbelievable.
it is, and that just speaks to the quality of the youth that we're that we do have in this community, and I think it's so important that they get to share not only their projects and what they do, but everything else that goes on in the community.
I also want to just
Lisa
very
just
quickly,
touched my leg, so
No,
I must be talking too much.
I just want to very quickly say that it's not just the youth, because there are things there for the senior citizens as well. As a matter of fact, Field Home, which is the assisted living facility,
Right.
they actually set up a whole area where they serve coffee, and the people can play cards and just sit and enjoy the music and have a good day.
And that's kind of the feeling of the whole day, and that's
Yeah.
why we're so excited. And we could talk about this for hours, and believe it or not, we've used up our time. But I just think there's no way to let the community know what an absolute beautiful day it is, from young children to to their great grandparents that could be there. Thank you so much,
very
Lisa
welcome.
and Al.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
I really
I
appreciate
apologize
you coming.
now on television.
And May 14th from 12 o'clock till 5 o'clock at Mildred E. Strang Middle School, and we look forward to seeing all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Okay.
It's a long road for you and me. It's a long road that I can see.